Hello everybody and welcome to the Virtual Circuit Racing GT3 Championship from Portimao. We are going to be at the halfway point in the season at the end of tonight, or indeed midway through tonight, because this is a double race round here at the slightly unusual Portuguese circuit down in the south of Europe. It's myself, Ewan, and James Parfitt along with you for this round of the championship after last week's race at Charlotte Motor Speedway that Traffic King took the win in and absolutely dominated as well. Josh Haythwaite's still the championship leader as we applied drop weeks ahead of Chris McIntosh and then Traffic King, who's had a very good couple of rounds so far, apart from the one he wasn't there for. So it's all set up nicely to reach the halfway point in the season tonight. Good to be back alongside you for this one, James. It should be an interesting one from Portimao. I've got to say, I haven't got much enjoyment for this circuit, if I'm honest. But we'll see how we get on. The full reverse grid races are always good ones. So hopefully that is going to be redeeming us tonight.
Have we just established this circuit you do not like?
Yeah, I don't really like it, yeah.
I've driven this circuit. Not in real life, obviously.
Oh.
But yeah,
I was going to say, in that case, same.
Yeah, no, not in this real life. Not in real life. But I've driven it in sim, and I actually like it. I don't like many circuits of the European nature of this, this sort of area, because they're all generally quite meh. You know what I mean? But no, I actually quite like this one.
Not quite motorbike circuit, motorcycle related, not related. What's the? I can't remember what the word is. But hey,
you mean more motorcycle suited?
Yeah, yes, that's the word I'm looking for there. Yeah, but this one isn't, and I still don't like it. So, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it's got very little flow to it. And it's, I don't know. It just doesn't quite fit with me. But
Mr. O'Leary. But then again, you like Silverstone and I don't.
That's crazy, by the way. That's absolutely mental.
How can you like a circuit that's just flat and boring? Amy, tell us what you think. She's in the YouTube chat, of course, as well. Do you like Silverstone? Do you like Portimao? Let us know what circuits you think. I just think Silverstone's flat and boring. It's just, no. And it's massive. It's huge.
Yeah.
The venue is like, you can't even walk around it in 45 minutes. It takes bloody ages.
No. But, we could all do some more exercise. So.
Are you saying I'm unhealthy?
No, just generally. I mean, I'm quite unhealthy these days.
I was going to say, you sit in front of your computer most days. What are you talking about?
I know, yeah.
I'm active. I'm up, moving around and all sorts.
I haven't been out today.
You didn't even know when the sun come up?
No, I do know when it comes up. I'm sometimes still awake.
Oh, my God.
I know, yeah. I told you I've been having trouble sleeping.
Anyway, knock you on the head with an hammer. That will put you straight out.
Well, yeah, but that won't be sleep. But anyway.
It will be. It'll be unconscious sleep.
It won't be relaxing, that's for sure.
Well, you ain't going to feel nothing.
But, well, not after, no. Anyway, we've got off track within 3 minutes. So
I'll tell you what, we do so well when we do things like this. We end up on a completely different tangent within a couple of minutes of starting the broadcast.
Oh,
completely forgetting we've got racing going on, and we've got 2 races tonight. We've got 2 15 minutes with the second one reverse grid, of course. So, but look, listen, this is why they tune in at home. They don't tune in for our commentary skills, and they tune into what waffle we're going to talk about next. Did you not know that? Come on.
Yeah, what commentary skills?
I have no idea, mate, to be honest at times, because together we're quite horrendous when we get in the commentary booth, I can tell you that much.
Anyway, yeah, well, we'll try and get it back on track. Just the end of qualifying coming up. As I said, last week, Traffic King absolutely dominated, so he's got the ballast on board, and Josh Haythwaite hasn't here. McIntosh has as well, and I think that really is holding him back at the moment, and he's currently down in 5th place. But there's a very noticeable gap, isn't there, from third to 4th position. Dave Price is also involved in that front 3. He doesn't have much ballast on board, even though he was here last week. I think he finished 6th from memory, and that means not a lot of weight on board, but he's up there as well. Haythwaite, though, you've got to say, or you'd have to think, I should say, he's got to make use of this, because if he's going to be serious about winning this championship, which in Amanda Haythwaite is, then he can't afford to be missing too many rounds and therefore having no ballast, or indeed getting no ballast from bad results. So he's got to make use of a night like tonight where he isn't going to have any ballast on board.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the important thing. Well, as we know with ballast, it's quite horrendous. How was Charlotte anyway? Because I was looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I got dragged into the wonderful world of trick-or-treating last Friday.
God.
With my little one. She went out dressed up as a cat, and it was quite, my house. Do you know, I actually ran out of sweets. My house was like, it was knocked on every 2 minutes. There was children everywhere. So how did Charlotte do? Anyway, how was Charlotte? Because was it the layout? Was it the layout we thought it was going to be?
No, it was the NASCAR layout. It wasn't without chicanes, unfortunately. Despite the track map in the announcement picture suggested that there were going to be no chicanes, but there were chicanes in the end. But they were a little bit more open than what you see in the real world. I quite enjoyed it. It was very, very difficult to just stay on the road. I mean, it's not a circuit used very often for GT3 racing, and I think that very much took its toll a little bit. However, it was still pretty decent racing, and I enjoyed it. I'm not sure some of the drivers enjoyed it. So Dave Price finished down in 6th place. I think he was running as high as 2nd at one point. I think Traffic King was the only one not to have trouble at any point over the course of the evening. So yeah, there was that. But yeah, I thought it was enjoyable, and sometimes Rovals get a bad reputation for being a bit sort of heartless, if you like, and a little bit boring. Indy, I think Indy's one of the better ones, but even that's not great.
Get out!
It's not great.
No,
but and they are of course restricted by the bounds of the oval, which is they can't really do much about. So, but yeah, I thought I enjoyed it, and yeah, more unusual ovals would be quite entertaining, I think, because people have less experience around them, obviously.
I mean, the difference is with Indy, they don't use the oval. That's the problem.
Not mostly, no.
Not the banking corner. Sorry, let me rephrase that, because it does use the start-finish straight, and then it dives in just after the end of the pit lane, and then it doesn't come out again. Really uses the bottom of the corner, doesn't it, for the final couple of corners, then goes in again. It doesn't actually utilise the banking, where at least like Daytona, Charlotte, Homestead, Miami. Where else has got one? I can't remember where else we've got one.
Pretty sure everyone's got one, but it's obviously used more than others.
Not got one. Is it Bristol?
Oh no.
Got one?
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Let's be real about it. The 2 mile circuits have, but the smaller ones haven't. But if Indy utilised the banking, I think I would actually maybe enjoy it a little bit more. But I just don't enjoy Indy. I think it's slippery, it's boring, it's flat, it's depressing, it's no in general. For me, couldn't think of anything else whenever I see it on a calendar, to be blatantly honest. But I did another series that had a 90-minute race at Indy. Yeah, wasn't ideal.
I've seen some decent races around there recently, I've got to say, even though I don't.
Mazdas?
Super Formulas, I think. So the Super Formula officials went there 1 week, and so obviously I did 2 broadcasts on it that week, and 3 races over 2 broadcasts. Pretty entertaining, I would say. Good. So anyway, well, that's all over iRacing, by the way, which is where VCR will be moving to, in case you've not seen the news in the week. I had read it turns out, because obviously everybody got tagged, but I just completely glossed over it and didn't register in my head at all. Starting season 6, we'll be on to iRacing, so it's going to be exciting times ahead. I'm a little bit sad to be moving away from AC, because we do enough broadcasting on iRacing, so I quite like the change, actually, of being in this series. But iRacing it is next season. Yeah,
looking forward to that one. Should be an interesting. They've got a poll running at the moment to figure out what cars are going to be running. So that could be an interesting one. And at the moment, I can officially tell you that
MX-5s are winning.
MX-5s, yeah, the MX-5s are winning at the moment. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Should be a good one.
Yep. Let's see how we get on tonight, though. First of all, with the 4th round of the VCR GT3 Championship. Not sure quite why it took so long between qualifying and the race, to be honest with you. But anyway, getting things sorted, getting things ready to go. With Haythwaite going to be on the pole. He was in front of Dave Price and Traffic King, by the way, on the front there. So 1, 2 and 3 to begin this race. And you'd imagine they will drive away from the rest of the field at the beginning here if the qualifying results are anything to be believed. Here we go then. Lights come on from the Algarve, and we are a bit of a hold, and we're ready to go. Oh, that's not a very good start. On the inside line there, one of the Acuras going nowhere, and we're 3 wide already, coming down, maybe more, coming down in towards turn 1. Haythwaite's going to take the lead nicely, but look at that mess in the background. Haythwaite and Price follow through. and King, and Price followed through, but they were never all going to make it through there. Burnett's dropped to 9th place. He might have been the driver who got away quite slowly. And Samuel drops to 10th place as well with a spin.
Samuel starting again. Not good, not good. We've got a car alongside us at the moment, but on that run down into the left-hander, of course, of Torres.
Oh, no!
Oh, big movement on the
inside.
inside.
No!
Contact. I think that may have been Bosworth.
It was, yeah. Bosworth got hit there, and there was just no way he was going to be able to avoid that. Burnett just on the opposite line. Yeah, he probably unsighted with his braking boards, couldn't see his braking boards, and he therefore missed him. McIntosh goes down the inside of Addy meantime and gets up to 4th place, and I didn't think the top 3 would get away quite this quickly, although I thought they would at some point in the race. Look at the gap that they've already got. This is a battle for 4th position. It's the best these guys can hope for already.
Yeah, they've got to try and leave each other alone a little bit though. McIntosh, the thing is, Chris ain't no slouch. That's the thing I'm surprised about. He's not really a slouch in these cars, and if he's left alone, he might have an opportunity to catch up to the Kings, to the Price, to the Haythwaights in front. But Addy and James have got to work with him. They can't work against him because it's never going to happen. I love this corner. Sagres, over the bump we go. Absolutely cannot see where you're going to point the car. Drop down a hill, gain some speed. Lovely corner. Absolutely amazing. I wish Silverstone had more corners that went up and down rather than just flat. But there we go. But yeah, Addy's there and James is there. Don't even go there, Mr. O'Leary. We'll go off tangent again. We will be in trouble.
It's in Northampton. You can't get hills like that. Northamptonshire. Anyway.
Make them. I don't know.
You can't make them. It's rubbish. Anyway, oh dear. That's
hills though to get to the Channel Tunnel, so they must be able to do something.
Well, yeah, it's quite expensive for no gain, I would argue. But anyway, Burnett is going to try and get through on John Hale here for 7th position, and this is all after being knocked back off the start. I think he was the one who went nowhere as a commentator at the time, and he's going down the inside. He's got to make up these places quickly. You could argue down into turn 5 last time he was a bit overly eager. He got too late on the brakes and straight into the side of Bosworth, but that was a lot more controlled.
Overly eager. He literally torpedoed Bosworth. I would probably say that was a little bit more over-eager than over-eager. I think that was a complete, as some people we know would put it, 0 IQ moment. And dived up the inside, didn't get the car stopped. And poor old Bosworth got a torpedo in the side of him. McIntosh at the moment is opening the gap up to Addy by about 1.4, 1.5 seconds. James is dropping back as well. The interesting thing is McIntosh is going forward, but he's doing it in there very, very slowly. And I don't know if he's going to have enough pace to keep up. King, Price and Haythwaight at the moment are pulling away. But that draft may take an effect on the front, the 2nd and 3rd, but I'm not quite sure if Price will get it, being a second back away from Haythwaight. Haythwaight seems to be on a bit of a different level here tonight, and Amy says, Shams, she told you to keep it forward, i.e. Mr. Samuel, who unfortunately every time I have seen him or every time I have been here, the poor little rascal spun round multiple times.
It's a real shame, unfortunately.
How was he in Charlotte?
Decent, I think, at Charlotte. Let's just see the result. Yeah, finished in 4th place, was it? Yeah, it was 4th place. Yeah, it was a good run.
So he was going forward then?
Yeah, the thing is, and I think we said this and agreed on this on Road Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, it does feel like, I'm not sure, because I've never driven, well, I have driven ACC, but a very long time ago, and not on these cars. I feel like when you have one spin, it snowballs into more and more and more. So when you do have that first one, it's not just the actual work you've got to do to make the re-overtakes or whatever it is, or catch up the gaps that you've now created, but it's actually the getting the tire temperatures back under control, getting the car back under control again looks really difficult, because every driver we see go for spins just sort of losing control as you do. It's more often than not gone over and had another one in the next few laps.
Yeah, the problem is you heat the tyres and then you go and pull away and you're trying your hardest to try and catch up, and then of course you overheat them again because you go into the next corner after you spin and spin again, and it kind of needs that soft control of that. Yes, you've made a mistake, we can all see you've made a mistake, but you've got to go in next time and just be a little bit careful, get the car rolling a little bit more, rather than just being on, slicks pretty much and not being able to grip the car whatsoever. There's something going on down the back here with Bosworth. He's gone round. Samuel and Hale are having a nice little ding-dong. I think Bosworth went into the left-hander before Sagra is a little bit overzealous, and unfortunately he's just got that a little bit all wrong. But Samuel at the moment, we are now going in the right direction, which is always good for us and Amy at home, and hopefully he'll move that Ferrari, or what was it?
Furiano.
And he'll move that forward, but it does also look like there's been further drama for James, who unfortunately just looks like he's got off the side of the circuit. Samuel trying to go down the inside, not getting it done this time around, but James did look like he's just done a problem. Hey, with iRacing, we do replays, I'd like to point out.
That is true. That is one advantage of iRacing, as Samuel comes down the inside of John Hale here in towards turn 5 and gets through nicely into 8th position. So
James is struggling.
Samuel, very much is struggling at the moment. No exit at all out of turn 5, even with a better line there for Luke James. So Samuel's going to be all over him. And this is just a mark of improvement, isn't it, from Shamo Samuel, who's had quite a lot of spins in the first couple of rounds, but decent week last week without any major trouble. Well, I think I'd won spin, but nothing more than that, and still got a 4th place finish, and is regaining places after a difficult start here as well.
That's the thing, he spun at the start, which ain't helpful. Because when you're in a class of this field, you kind of don't want to get left behind early on. And unfortunately for Shams, he kind of did get a little bit left behind, but he's making places back nicely. Obviously, the drivers in front have had their own issue. James has had an issue, Bosworth's had an issue. I don't remember Hale having any form of drama, so that's quite cool. But Samuel now, he's just got not do that. That wouldn't have been good. He's got to settle this, bro. It is a Ferrari, okay? Just to let you know, I'm going to settle the Ferrari. He's got to settle that Ferrari down, because the problem with the Ferrari is if you do heat the tyres up, you are going to struggle for the next couple of corners. Now, the only saving grace of this circuit, Ewan, and there is something, is there's quite a long spread before corners. So the run from Galp all the way down to Portimao in turn 1 is long. Then you've got a little bit more of a run up to Lagos, and then Lagos round to Torre Vip. You know, it's only when you get into Sampson, Craig Jones, Portimao that the corners actually come up to you quite quickly. So you do have a little bit of a run to be able to cool the Ferrari down a little bit. But Samuel's got to do that. James even more has got to do that, because he does look like he's struggling a little bit more. He's got to utilise the gaps that he has got and try and call them Ferrari's highs down. But at the moment, Hateway's pulling away from Price. It's now 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, he's holding this gap at arm's length for Safeway, and has done for a little while now, and would look to extend his championship lead as a result of this, especially over Traffic King, who's going to find it very difficult with a very heavy car here today, you would imagine. Yeah, it's true that there is sometimes quite a big gap between corners here, but it is very hot here as well, which doesn't, normally anyway, which doesn't allow for tyre cooling too much. Ambient temperature is 22 degrees Celsius though, although road temperature only 23, so it really isn't that warm, to be honest. Not sure what time of year, or whether AC even simulates time of year or whatever, but it is not too warm, thankfully. And that makes things a lot easier to keep the tyre temperatures down, even on a circuit like this. It's just have quite long corners in places. There's a couple of them through the final corner over the top of the hill here, turn 15, after the long switchback hairpin at 14. So 6 minutes to go, and that should be 4 laps to go right now, including the one that they've just begun. So yeah, just 4 more laps for Haythwaite to hold on, and for other positions to change down the field. These are the closest battles, by the way, further down the back end of the field.
Yeah, King and Price have closed up a lot. But there's Haythwaite up there. The gap is really weird between these three, because it is fluctuating, but it's not fluctuating massively. It's 2.1 seconds. And that's the thing, it's not huge. It's enough that if one of them makes a mistake, they're going to be in trouble, but it's also not enough that it doesn't take the opportunity away from the likes of Price, from King, from Haythwaite to join in. I don't know how McIntosh has all of a sudden jumped to the front of the leaderboard. I think that's a little bit of a timing error. But it is obviously Haythwaite out in front, then Price and King. McIntosh is in between Burnett and... Oh, there he goes. He's back down again, so he's in the right place. So yeah, the gap is manageable, but it isn't insurmountable. It's not so big that the others haven't got an opportunity.
That's some big words for you there. Manageable and insurmountable.
I do know some English, you know. I might be from London, but we do pick up some vocabulary. Jesus.
Create your own.
Book, and we do create our own a lot of the time.
I know, yeah. You don't speak English like the rest of us.
No,
anyway.
We don't. We literally...
Oh, whoa! Crawford King, and he's off! Into the gravel, and McIntosh is going to get past. That might be it, though. He might only lose one place out of this, although Burnett's going to be coming around the corner. There he is. Oh dear, he's from very wide there. They were speaking before the race, by the way, about the track limits he can get away with here, and he is going to get through on Trafford King, who slides one way and the other, and he's in the gravel, and he is down to 5th position.
That was a wicked on-board shot of that doing that then. You could just feel it as well. It was just left, right. And we kept it out of the barrier for Trafford King, but unfortunately, he's dropped it down to 5th place. So not an ideal scenario for him. Now it's 1.8 seconds from Haythwaite to Price.
You'd imagine King will be able to get past Burnett at least before the end, because there will be 2 laps to go at the end of this one. However, that's not ideal at all on a day where he needs to limit the damage really to Haythwaite. I know he's already 27 points behind him, but and that's because he missed the first of the 2 race evenings, which came at Road Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. However, King needs to try and stay as close as he can through this round of the championship here, and that would be by just limiting the damage to Haythwaite, and maybe even trying to finish ahead of him in the reverse grid race. Now that is going to be a bit easier with this result here, but also of course he's losing more points to Haythwaite than he has to with this result as it stands, because of those couple of positions lost. 2 laps to go, and he's going to have to put the pressure onto Tom Burnett now for 4th position.
Yeah, he is. James and Samuel, I was going to say they're swapping places. They are literally in the midst of swapping places with each other. Samuel has just gotten through, but James is putting him under pressure. He's going to get the run down into turn 1. It drops down the hill. He pulls out. He's known now. Samuel knows he's there. And James goes and puts it up the inside, opens up the steering. Samuel's still there as they're running too wide. Through into the right hand and out. James should be able to hold that line. Gets the inside line, job done. But great racing from them two.
And Samuel's going to try and come back at him. He slides and he saves it this time, though. He will not have the momentum, though, because he was too busy going sideways out of turn 4 there. He's late on the brakes, and he gets very close to James, who I'm not sure quite braked as late as he could have done there, or indeed as late as he normally has been. But Samuel very nearly hit him as he has another look on the way towards 7 and 8, and he won't get past here. This is a pretty lively battle. Oh, and again, James is either braking very early or Samuel's missing his braking points, or both, because that's the second time they made contact.
Yeah, it did look like a bit of an early braking zone, but then again, we don't know what's going on in James's car. It could be the situation that's where his braking point is, but Samuel definitely got the run up through the left-hander and then all the way round in to Portimao before they drop down the hill, of course. But yeah, Samuel, if he keeps up this pace, there's no reason why he cannot get him. I do want to check in here, because unfortunately for Mr. King, he's dropped back about a second.
Well, it's looking like it's only going to be 5th for Trafford King as it stands. With a minute to go, there will only be a lap to go. And once he's behind Burnett here, he's not as quick. You wonder whether those tyres are still just cooling down a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, one spin can very easily turn into another, at least in my experience of this series so far, this GT3 Championship. But yeah, King has got a lot of work to do here to get past Burnett on the last lap, and I don't think he is going to manage it. He's going to lose out to Haythwaite, who's going to gain points in the championship. McIntosh is going to finish down in 3rd place. He's 2nd in the championship at the moment, as James does get pressured into a mistake by Shamo Samuel.
Yeah, we're going to presume that was a mistake. I don't know if there was contact. They were 7 tenths apart at the moment that happened, so maybe James just did that on the run down into Portimao on his own. This is the final lap. They're not going to get one more in. They're not going to get over the line in 8 seconds, so this will be the final lap.
Yeah, it will be. It's counting down, and time will elapse for Haythwaite. Wasn't here last week, so light as far as ballast is concerned. In fact, no ballast at all. And that is, you could argue, what's powering on and helping him to this race victory here in this one. As he comes around the final corner, he will win race 1 here at Portimao. Josh Hethwaite, championship leader, extends that lead with race 1 victory here at Portimao in the Virtual Circuit Racing GT3 Championship. Dave Price comes home second, McIntosh third. He retains second in the championship as it stands. Price will get quite close to Traffic King with that second place finish, by the way, because King finishes behind Tom Burnett down in 5th.
Yeah, he didn't come over the line there, and he's going to come over the line in 6th. Daniel is going to lead the way. Hale's going to get, he got James after James's incident. So Chamois Samuel keeping that going forward. Hale in that lovely looking Mercedes. It does look really nice. I do like the whole brightly coloured scheme on that one. But Hale, so good job from him. He goes over the line. And James has not had a good race. We'll look at coming back in race 2, of course.
Because he was starting the front row, along with Bosworth, who will be 10th. So that will be the order, but in reverse, of course, for race number 2 coming up in a moment. Just 2 15-minute races for us here tonight, as opposed to the 1 20-minute race, which is what we see on other rounds. And indeed, we'll next get in 2 weeks' time at Hockenheim. We'll have one at VIR and just one at Kota as well. But next week, it's the Red Bull Ring. We're having for 2 races. Red Bull Ring always provides good racing, I think, in any car, but GT3's no exception to that. We're going to have some reverse grid racing around there, and yeah, that's not going to be too difficult to overtake on that circuit, so you'd be quite pleased to have a reverse grid race there if you're one of the favourites.
Yeah, absolutely. The Red Bull Ring is cool. Surprisingly, it's cool. It's only 10 corners. It's well, barely 10 corners. So, yeah, it's going to lead to a different challenge from having these sort of... I don't really want to say that Red Bull isn't a Grand Prix circuit, but in conjunction of length of some of these other circuits, Red Bull is probably one of the smallest circuits we're going to, along with Road Atlanta. So in regards of length, then now Hockenheim's not exactly massive. So yeah, but then you obviously go on to big courses like VIR and Spa and Kota, and you know, so it'd be interesting to see what they can do at the Red Bull Ring. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I do feel like we associate the Red Bull Ring with being really short, because obviously in these days Formula 1, well, it's partly that, but in Formula 1 these days it's almost a 1 minute lap time, you know, so, well, certainly a few years ago, but actually in GT3 it is closer to 1.5 minutes, so it's not quite as short as Road Atlanta in this season. However, yeah, it is shorter than Hockenheim, certainly shorter than VIR, which is sort of Nordschleife in America, with less character.
Depends which layout.
Well, yeah, but even the outer layout that I think we're using for this is sort of Nordschleifer-ish, I would say.
No, I don't mind VIR. The interesting thing I think with VIR is that it's so squiggly. I think if you was to go, what is it? It's the Grand East course. 4.2 miles, 6.759 kilometres, and there's turns absolutely everywhere. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like the Grand West has got more corners as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. I think they're using the full course, they are, which is 3.2 miles. But yeah, the Grand West and Grand East are definitely challenging, to say the least. Yes.
I'm not sure which is more challenging, if you like, because yeah, it's got a lot of layouts as VIR, which is very unusual. That's not like the Nordschleife, but yeah,
it's got
anyway.
6.
Yeah, dear me, and all of them very difficult. So there you go. Especially as you say, those ones that use that sort of, I'll call it an infield section.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite accurate, I suppose. It's probably a better name for it, but that's what I'm going with. And yeah, Grand East to Grand West. That's not what we're using though for the round, as far as we can see from the track map. And I think the drivers are going to be pretty pleased about that. Well, the drivers are on the grid again, and we're ready to go again for race number 2, the full reverse grid race in the Virtual Circuit Racing GT3 Championship tonight. The lights, the person operating the lights had forgotten how to do his job for a second, but now he's pressed the button and he's on. So red lights on, and here we go. Race begins. Oh, and that's a lightning start from Hale in the midfield. Oh, and he pushes one of the Ferraris to the very inside. We're almost 4 wide on the way towards turn 1. Hale almost strangled by his own good start. Oh, that's a big move over the inside from Samuel, I think, and Hale's the one who goes around. I think Price went through and collected him. James has gone for a spin. Where's Haythwaite? He's dropped down to 9th in the standings, but is he actually off? Oh, he is off the circuit. Race 1 winner Josh Haythwaite off. And meantime, Traffic King, as he so often does, has got himself to the front of the field by getting himself just through the field efficiently, through lap 1 efficiently, and he leads in front of Burnett, who goes down the inside of Samuel, massively down the inside from McIntosh. He gets through on Bosworth, Addy and Price, who are 3 wide.
Oh my God, this is absolutely not going to work. Very, very shortly, there is going to be either a sudden stop or a wall of somebody because, they managed to get it sorted out. Price drops down. The order comes back.
Oh
again.
no!
Addy's, Bosworth's off. We're in the grass with Bosworth, unfortunately. James has had a rotten start. Primera, turn 1 again. Same thing he did in race number 1. Unfortunately for James, he's dropped himself all the way down the order. Traffic King, interestingly enough, he's got Samuel and Burnett behind him. And McIntosh in the middle. Addy and Price are still having their own little fight.
Yeah, they are. And Price will have to just keep probing, keep pushing away at the moment, trying to get himself past, if at all possible. Let's see, as through the right-hander they come and onto the straight. He's going to look down the inside. Hello. Oh, look down the inside and can't quite get past. Matthew Eddy stays in front for the moment on Price. Bosworth is going to be overtaken. He re-overtakes Luke James, I should say.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried that James might have had another moment there because Bosworth has gone through again. Samuel and McIntosh have swapped places. McIntosh has gone forward, didn't he? Because Samuel was originally sitting in 3rd. And you can see if Samuel's not careful, though, he's got Addy and Price coming at him. So he's either got to stay with McIntosh and try and retain that 4th place, or he's got to try and overtake him to put a car in the middle. But I don't know, no offence, whether or not Samuel's quite got the pace to keep up with McIntosh.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm amazed he got through turn 1 without incident because he was really shoved on the inside curb through turn 1, lap 1, and he survived somehow. I mean, they're massive curves on the inside at turn 1 there, but anyway, it's still running in
Luke James
4th.
in the bum, to be honest.
Yeah, the knock-on effect went down the line, unfortunately. Hale was another one who went around because of all of that. But yeah, it was always going to happen. I mean, you said it just on the start of this race that it's pretty tight through turn 1, and even though there's a bit of runoff on the exit of between 1 and 2, it's still means that somebody can fall afoul of the contact, and indeed they have done on that occasion. So. Yeah, Samuel survives, 4th place for now, but as you say, Addy and Price probably is a little bit quicker. He's only got 12 minutes to defend though, so we'll probably give this a go at defending the inside line.
Yeah, why not? Have a fight, go for it. Put yourself out there. Give it a good old go. He's got nothing to lose at the end of the day. He can keep Addy, he can keep Price. Haythwaite's 5 seconds back from them, 6 seconds to Bosworth, who's got a second to James, who's, 2 seconds ahead, near enough of Hale. Who, unfortunately, do you know the only thing with Hale is he got an absolute blistering start, and then it was almost like he looked around and thought, oh, what am I doing? And then kind of didn't quite commit to turn number 1. He was well alongside, he had loads of time, send it in there, get it stopped. And then unfortunately, it all went a little bit wrong coming through Primera, and that was well, just about there. And that was the unfortunateness of it. But if he'd committed to that line, he wouldn't have been on that outside line. He would have had to tighten up turn 1 to go through. So I'm a little bit gutted for Hale, but unfortunately it is what it is on that one. Price and Addy, well, they're doing that at the moment.
Still going, and Price will go through into 5th ahead of Matthew Addy. And Price will go through on Samuel as well, who just goes wide at turn 8 there. He didn't let Addy through, but Price through rather, but he just went wide, and so Dave Price is up to 5th or 4th place. Nevertheless, around the outside from Price, that was quite tight. That could have gone wrong, but Dave Price gets the position on the outside line. He's through into 4th. Shamo Sanyu now will have to turn his attention to defending from Addy now.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling that was always coming. Price has been swift, and I don't you know, Jams, if you're watching back, I do apologise, but I don't think he's got the pace to stick up to Price. Might have the pace to defend from Addy, but he's going to have to be brave. Addy sent him on kind of on that wide line around Sagres, which is very, very hard to pull in through Galp and opt out, up they go. But Samuel's definitely under pressure here going into turn number 1. It depends on what Addy's going to do and whether or not he's going to commit to that inside line, which I think he is. It's going to be on the brakes just on the 100, and then they're going to stop the car and go around Primera without any problems, of course.
This is unfortunately the last time Samuel's going to be in the top 5 for the next few minutes, you would imagine, unless there are going to be mistakes from those up in front, which is not possible, not impossible. Sorry, we've certainly seen Traffic King in the first race falling afoul of that. And speaking of which, he's under pressure at the moment from Tom Burnett, who I don't think has any. No, he doesn't have any ballast on board. He hasn't been here since the opening round of the championship at Bathurst. But Traffic King was, of course, and he dominated at Charlotte last week, which means he's got all the weight on, and that's how Burnett's able to keep with him and put the pressure on. Don't forget that Burnett finished in front of King in the first race, so yes, there was a mistake from King, but you could argue that Burnett will feel, and rightfully maybe, that he could get past Traffic King here and maybe take a race victory. Going to be difficult for him to work his way past, and King can defend hard, but it's certainly viable that Burnett could get himself through.
Burnett's got no ballast, right?
Yep.
King's carrying what, 80?
I don't know what the, whatever it is for first. I can't remember what the ballast is for. I thought it was 60, but you might be right, 80.
No, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah,
we have. We have had this conversation. I've had this conversation before as well with Luke. Hold on.
Just got bad memories.
Oh mate, we are awful. Considering I'm old and you're young, between us, we barely remember to tie our shoelaces. Bonkers.
Oh, yeah, I can remember that, but...
yeah, that's because you got Velcro strap and you ain't got no shoelaces.
That's Velcro.
Come on, that was good. Come on,
can't say that after your own jokes.
No, I can, that was funny. 60 kilos. I think
I was
60.
right, was I?
I think it is 60, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's 0.6 seconds a lap. I believe that's what they've got. I think. I'm pretty sure it is. On that one. But no, come on, that joke was funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, but you've got to let someone else say that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have said it. You just would have gone, no, not funny. In the pure grinchy Ewan O'Leary style.
You can't declare it yourself.
I can't declare it myself. It was funny. Sorry, it was. Anyway, listen, we got them again. We ain't lasted very long here, are we?
No.
Samuel's having a good old go with Haythwaite once more.
Well, Haythwaite, unfortunately for him, has just got straight through here, so he's continuing his run back through the field. And don't forget, Haythwaite's one of those who's got no ballast on board, and you'd say, as I said earlier, he's got to make use of today, but he's not as it stands in race 2. Here comes McIntosh versus Price in towards the final sector. Price on the outside line here of Chris McIntosh. He's also got a chance to move forward, by the way, tonight, with Haythwaite just down the field a little bit. McIntosh starts the day in second in the championship. He looks down the inside of Price here, but doesn't quite have the exit for now, as we're in the second half of this race.
Yeah, Price has got the job done now. I think Price is going to go after Burnett. I think he's got a bit of a bigger gap than he's going to be able to make there. But I kind of expected him to get past McIntosh, but he did that really quite quickly. So fair play, and I do expect Price to move off a little bit. Samuel in behind Haythwaite. Haythwaite closing in on Addy. Haythwaite at the moment has got to clear Addy as quickly as possible. I don't know if he's going to get Price. I'm trying to figure out if he's going to have enough time. Last lap 41.35, Price on a 41.972. Not a lot of gap at all as he goes up the inside of Matthew Addy.
Yeah, he's just got to get what he can from this, and you'd imagine what he can get is probably third, Haythwaite. And let's see.
I don't know if he's got it.
Well, I don't know. I think he does, based on race number 1. I think
Price carrying in ballast. That's the question.
Price in ballast is not carrying very much. He finished 6th last week, so not the worst result, but and he will be carrying something, but it won't be too heavy. Certainly nothing like what Traffic King has got on board. But let's see. Apart from that, if you look at the qualifying times and the way that Haythwaite drove in race 1, I think he is a lot quicker than these two in front. The qualifying times explain that, and I don't think he was actually pushing 100% in race one, to be honest, because I don't think he needed to. He won that race pretty comfortably in the end, and when he really comes down to it, he's going to push the pace on even more. He's 2.5 seconds behind Price, to be fair, with just 3 laps to go, so that is running up against him. However, he's going to push hard to try and rescue a podium from here.
Yeah, he's got to do it. He's not going to have long. 3 laps, maybe 4 at the most, I think, depending on how the time's going to be. You can see McIntosh, you can see Price. Josh has got to go there as well. Lee Races in YouTube chat. Josh is reeling them in. Come on, Josh, says Amy. Here once more. So, yeah, see how they go on this one. But, yeah, I don't know. He might get McIntosh. I still don't know if he's going to get Price.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. The amount of time remaining in this race. King is still keeping Burnett at arm's length at the front of the field as well, so not missing anything there. And further back there aren't any battles either, actually, behind these. So this is where the positions are being fought over. I'm not sure as to quite how the championship's going to be at the end of today. Unfortunately, I think it's probably going to be a more defined top 4, because unfortunately Luke Woodhouse is losing, not here, sorry, for the 2nd week in a row, which is a shame. And if you're going to be a championship contender, you can't really afford to miss 2 race weeks, really, as in 2 rounds, but also weeks where we have 2 races, like what Traffic King missed second round. You know, he's taking his drop round as the DNS, but then again, so is Haythwaite, and that is, you know, there's still a 27 points difference between them, even though King has won both of the races he's been at up until this point here tonight. He has not been able to stay anywhere near Haythwaite, because Haythwaite missed a 1 race evening and King missed a 2 race, so that's the difference at the moment. As Haythwaite tries to just extend his advantage, he will be alongside McIntosh by the end of the straight here. This is 1st and 2nd in the championship, side by side, going on to the penultimate lap of the final race. In towards turn 1, Haythwaite breezes past. He is a lot quicker than McIntosh, and he's gone off! McIntosh hits the curb hard as he has to follow somebody for the first time in a while through turn 1. He hits the curb hard and he drops all the way down to 7th.
Oh, man, that was a drop and a half, that, for McIntosh. Behind Samuel, behind Addy, and 1 mistake on the curb. That was it. It was all done and dusted. And unfortunately for McIntosh, he's now down in 7th place. Go steady, Chris, says Amy. Right at the moment, he spins. So we can blame Amy for that one. So that's cool.
Well, yeah. More with McIntosh. He tries to get himself back in.
I think that's going to be all he's got.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, McIntosh is going to finish down here. So is Haythwaite going to get to Price? Well, he is going to run out of time, it looks like, with the amount of time remaining. And Dave Price looks pretty quick in this 2nd race, I've got to say. Maybe even quicker than what he did in race number 1. So he's looking like he might well just stay in front of Haythwaite. Look at the way he's pushing here, diving for the apex, braking as late as he possibly can. Yeah, he is absolutely on the march at the moment. He's trying his very best to get on terms with Price. He might just run out of time, but he is not giving up for the moment.
No, it's not. It's going to be the final lap. King's going to come over. Final lap of the race now. Burnett's pushed in behind him. Haythwaite's about 1.3 seconds back. And he ain't pulling that much in. Last lap time for Dave Price, 41.9. Haythwaite, 41.3. I'm pretty sure they... Oh, no, last lap, sorry. My mistake, made it the wrong one. At last lap, 41.7. Dave Price at 42.4. Chance, but... catching and overtaking, completely different.
Yes, it certainly is, as we all know, around any circuit.
Absolutely.
Towards turn 5, this is going to be obviously his best chance, but he's nowhere near close enough here, and he's not going to be around here again. It's the last lap, so that's the best chance arguably gone. But when you are as quick a driver as Haythwaite, and as seemingly determined as he is to get up into 3rd place, then he could find other places in the final sector especially, and Price goes wide. You don't want to leave the door ajar like that. Haythwaite is going to really ramp up the pressure now.
Yeah, he's going to go after it now as well. You can see he's closing in. He saw Price make a mistake. He knows he's going to get, he's got more of an opportunity. Into the right-hander of Portimao they go. Halfway, little bit of a slide on. Drops down the hill. He's going to come up the other side, of course. Into that left-hander, into Sagres. There's only two more corners to go. And Dave Price is holding on, but Traffic King going to come over the line and take this civic.
Yeah, he will. He's held off Tom Burnett really rather well in this race. There was a lot of pressure on him, but never at any stage did he look like he was going to lose the place. And he wins race number 2. Traffic King will take the most points out of tonight as long as Hapethwaite doesn't get past Price behind. And on the run up to the line, he's going to just run out of time, is he? The line's quite a long way down here. Oh, and oh, wow, he's chasing him across the road. Wow, that was close. Price reacted quite late there, and Hapethwaite might have something to say, but Hapethwaite got really close. I forgot, of course, the finish line on AC is actually where the start line is, not where the finish line is, at the start of the pit wall, effectively, which is where it is normally. That was very close. Hapethwaite got a good run at the final turn and very nearly nicked it.
Dave Price was reactive there. He was not proactive on that move. Hapethwaite pulled out, Price followed him over and squeezed him as much as he's legally allowed to. Oh, I don't know. Love to push that if he comes in for an interview.
Let's see. Well, let's hope anyway that he comes and joins us and we can have a chat about those couple of races. But as I say, with Hapethwaite not getting there, Traffic King will take the most points out of tonight, and so the gap will reduce from 27 to probably something around, it's probably not much less than that, to be honest. It probably still more than 20 because there is only one position difference. Hapethwaite finished 1st and 4th tonight, and King finished 1st and 3rd, so not much of a difference there. McIntosh will be the big loser. He'll drop behind King in the championship standings, and so that is how it will look at the end of the day. Who should we chat to first? Hapethwaite or King?
Well, let's go Hapethwaite because you can challenge him about that last one. Oh, can't you move anyone?
I can't move anyone, no. I'm sorry, I'm helpless again. Welcome in, Josh. Good to have you with us. Congrats on the 1st and 4th place tonight, but it was so nearly a 1st and 3rd place with that late battle between yourself and Dave Price towards the end. Just tell us about those final couple of laps. You were chasing everybody to make those final places up there.
Oh, I was having the drive of my life trying to catch up to them lot. It was good. It was really good. Unfortunately, I don't know if you caught it, but got clipped twice on lap 1, both in the exact same scenario, which put me round and put me, I think, 7 seconds behind the guy in front. So it was just kind of a mad dash to kind of catch back up, and then Dave being a bit of a roadblock, although he was adamant that he left me enough track. He did, but it was good. I had a really good time.
What was your sort of thoughts on this circuit and what you were expecting from tonight? Because you haven't got any ballast on, of course. Do you see this as a big opportunity for you to gain some points tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit concerned through the week because Luke was a little bit late putting the ballast on for everyone before practice, and Traff set a blistering 40.8, and I could not get anywhere near him throughout the week. And then today with practice, I don't know if it was pressure or just having a laugh with the lads, kind of put my lap times up a little bit and actually used the ballast or lack thereof.
Well, congrats on a good result tonight. I'm sure you'll have some ballast next week, but that's to be dealt with in the future. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anything before we let you go?
As always, my lovely fiance, my granddad watching at home, my work, Falcon Turbos, and you guys as well. Once again, putting on an incredible show.
Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you next week, Josh. Congrats tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. See you next week.
Very much. That's Josh Hapethwaite. Finishes in 1st and 4th place tonight. Actually, the other race winner, Traffic King, now as well, who can join us. Oh, sorry for interrupting your conversation. Welcome in. Good to have you with us. Let's talk about race 2 first of all, because Tom was right behind you the whole race there after you got into the lead, but you never succumbed to the pressure or anything. Tell us how much pressure you were under or how controlled it was at the front there.
Well, believe it or not, I was just talking about how fast Tom was. He was, he was keeping me honest there, like proper pushing me on.
I can imagine as well. How much was the additional weight holding you back, do you feel, here tonight, obviously after the win last week?
Well, me and Dave did some lapping before the ballast went on, and it did a bit. I'd say it took off like ultimate lap time. It took like 6/10 off, something like that. But it's just the way it cooks the tires. Like, these don't like the tires anyway. So as soon as you've got 60 kilo, by end of race you're going to be struggling. And
as far as the championship is concerned now, so I still think, and actually you've gained the most points tonight of anybody, so you might have the full weight on again next week, which I'm sure he'll be delighted about. But you will get a little bit closer to Josh in the championship. How are you sort of feeling about that situation now we're approaching half distance and you two are sort of even, although Josh just with his nose in front at the moment?
I think if we're doing the same as last season, Josh gets to play with 60 next week, so it's fine.
Okay.
All right. I'll deal with whatever P5 is and get to have a play again.
All right. We'll see who's got what next week, obviously, and we'll look forward to it. But congrats on the win tonight in race 2, Trafford, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as always.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks very much. That's Trafford King, who joins us at the end of tonight's races, first and third tonight for him, and a third place also for Dave Price in race 2, who joins us now as well. Dave, welcome in, good to have you with us. Third place in race 2, and a great battle with Josh towards the end as well, though it didn't last very long because he only caught you at the very end. Just tell us about that final lap as he was piling on the pressure there.
Yeah, it was super exciting. Obviously the race 2's a very intense race. You're starting at the back, you're trying to push through. Obviously there's a bit of carnage as well, so pushing through that, and then I just see his name creeping up the leaderboard, and I'm like, oh no. And obviously he's very fast here. After race 1, I think he put 3 seconds on me over the race, and it was really, I was trying to catch him up in race 1, but he was just leaving me for dead. So I knew he had pace. And then when I could see his name behind mine, and then we came around that last corner, and I know that NSX is super fast with low wing, and I seen him coming down the straight, I was like, oh no, he's gonna get me. And I thought, I'm just gonna play him a little bit. I'm just gonna drift over the track a little bit and see if I can deter him from passing me a little bit, and managed to hold on to third just about. I'm sure it was very close on the time.
Did you leave him enough room?
No, I did not know. No, there was enough room on the track. There was definitely enough room on the track. I just played a little bit of a game where he had to make a decision, left or right, and he chose the wrong one, unfortunately.
Okay.
you don't sound sure.
No, would it have mattered though, Dave, which way he went? You would have squeezed him either way, right?
Nah. Yeah.
You
I would have done him on the straight.
He would have been on the grass or in the wall.
Yeah, either one. It was his choice to make.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever's going to hurt less, I guess.
Yeah, he should have gone for the grass, really. But no, it was close. I think I would have kept the nose ahead. I think I would have kept the nose ahead to finish. But we've had some really good racing, me and Josh. So yeah, it was fun to get there.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Well, congrats on third in race 2 tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anything before we let you go?
Just the VCR guys. Luke Woodhouse is on holiday, can't join us tonight, and then everybody, all the boys that are joining us in practice server that are racing. It's such a good laugh. The Discord was incredible tonight. It was such a good laugh, and I really enjoyed myself. And obviously you guys for putting on top broadcast, and I can't wait to watch it back.
Well, thanks very much. Congrats on third place, the second race tonight, Dave, and thanks for chatting to us again as well.
No worries, guys. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thanks very much. Dave
Bye-bye.
Price, the third placed finisher from race 2 tonight. I gotta say, I did enjoy those races at Portimao, even though I'm not a fan of driving this circuit, and sometimes the racing can be a little bit stale. I think the thing sometimes actually around here is that people find it a bit easy actually, and don't make too many mistakes, but we did see a few mistakes tonight actually. Certainly a bit of action in that second race, a close finish for third as well, and trafficking under pressure the whole way through at the front as well. Yeah, there was a lot going on in those couple of races, but in the end King is going to come through with the most points, I think, and just reduce that margin slightly to Josh out front, which is going to be interesting to see how that develops over the coming weeks, because we're about halfway now, and it's about time we start thinking about the championship just a little bit.
Yeah, well, the gap's 33 points, I can let you know. Scores have been updated. Josh Haythwaite 181, Trafford King 148. He's only 3 points ahead of King, who is only 6 points ahead of McIntosh. So there you go. Did anybody pick up on the fact that Dave Price admitted that he didn't leave him enough room, or am I the only one that's picked up on that? Like, he purposely tried to put him in the wall or on the grass. You know what I mean? No?
Yeah.
Nobody?
I mean, I wouldn't admit to it if I did that.
No, but he blatantly
there you
did,
go.
right? He did, yeah. That wasn't my imagination or anything, was it? He literally did just come on stream on YouTube and admitted that he was going to put him in the wall.
He did admit that, yes.
Okay, cool. I thought I might have been the only one. I didn't know if anybody else picked up on it, but yeah, he kind of got himself in trouble there, pretty damn Dave, I think.
Thought you were hallucinating or something.
Yeah,
No,
I was going schizophrenic and hearing things.
He did say that.
Okay, cool.
He did say that. Also said he probably would have got it anyway, which is not really how rules work. But anyway.
Yeah, he said it didn't matter which way he went. He would have put him on the grass or in the wall. So you know, hey, whichever one hurts less, Dave. Whichever one hurts less.
I wouldn't become a lawyer, Dave, if I was that. If I was you,
it'd be absolutely rubbish.
Don't use that defence.
No, exactly.
Anyway, that doesn't stand up. Anyway, that's just about it from us here tonight. As I say, it's a double header of 2 race weeks. Sorry. With a full reverse grid from the Red Bull Ring to look forward to next week as well. That should be another good one because it's an exciting circuit always, the Red Bull Ring, and we've got a reverse grid, which is always good as well. So that's all to look forward to next week. Hope you'll join us then. But for now, for myself, Ian Leary, James Parfitt alongside me, it's goodbye from Portimao. We'll see you next time in the Virtual Circuit Racing GT3 Championship at the Red Bull Ring. Goodbye for now.